Shalom people, welcome back to Football Therapy with me, host Jan. I hope you lot are all doing well today, man. I really do hope that Chelsea got a clean sheet last night. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here on Football Therapy, where I go across football news media, see what's being said about the Blues and consolidate it into one manageable package for you, the viewer, giving you my opinion, but hey, you know, more importantly, asking for yours. Chelsea have signed a new goalkeeper. Registered on the Premier League 25-man, is it 25? The Premier League squad list. And I want to talk about centre halves, how Kurt Zouma's exit was blocked by Frank Lampard. And also, I do want to talk about Antonio Rudiger, because he did an interview with The Athletic explaining his current situation at Chelsea Football Club. Yes, indeed, a lot to get into today, boys and girls, but I want to put in a quick reminder to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Look, man, I know I always ask, and it's like a YouTuber thing, they ask you to subscribe. It is like a thing. But I really want to get to that landmark, 100k, and then I'll ease off a little bit, man. So if you haven't subbed, you can stop me from asking by subscribing. And then, yeah, bell notifications icon, drop a like, show your support. That would be nice. Thank you very much. All right, let's get into it. Right, I'm going to leave it for the last story, but Petr Cech has signed for Chelsea. Spoiler! I do want to talk about the centre halves because it's really interesting and get that out of the way first. So the first story I'm talking about today is how Frank Lampard blocked the exit, the transfer, more specifically the inquiries for Chelsea centre-back Kurt Zouma. Now you can understand that Chelsea do look like they have designs to keep him in the centre-back position next to Thiago Silva, who does make Kurt Zouma look better. Yes, Kurt Zouma of late has made a couple of high-profile mistakes, but you can see throughout his general play in the 90 minutes that he's very, very good. He's our most dominant player in the air. He does no nonsense defending, he's strong, he's relatively fast, and he's a good age, well experienced in the Premier League too. If you remember, cast your mind back to when Frank Lampard first came to Chelsea, he spoke about Callum Hudson-Odoi, how he wants him to stay, and he spoke about Kurt Zouma, how he wants him to stay. Pretty much saying, look, Kurt's our player, because at the time he was on loan at Everton, I don't want him to be sold permanently there, he's a Chelsea player, I want him. Very, very stern and concise about how he asserted himself in that press conference, like, Kurt Zouma is my player and he will play. Interestingly, after that, he went in and out of the team and the likes of Rudiger came in, but ultimately, Frank really does like Kurt Zouma, and apparently, reportedly, he's done a similar thing here where he's blocked a move to Everton again. Obviously, Everton are flying under Ancelotti. I don't know if would he replace Keane, I guess, and be partnered with Yerry Mina? I'm just assuming that. Everton fans would probably know more than me. But Frank was like, no, he's ours, making it look like he's top of the tree next to Thiago Silva and beyond, perhaps next season if Thiago Silva leaves. So let's move on to the next story, which actually involves another centre half. Antonio Rudiger, the talk of the town when it comes to Chelsea's defence at the moment, for a multitude of reasons. Now, I want to put it out there now. I listen to a lot of podcasts, you know, football shows, radio, a lot, like many of you do, right? And all of them, who perhaps aren't Chelsea fans, people looking from the outside in, all say, why isn't Chelsea playing Antonio Rudiger? He is by far their best centre half. Why is Antonio Rudiger not playing? And we, Chelsea fans who perhaps watch a lot more Chelsea than these people making these sweeping statements, know that in fact Rudiger has been very, very, very poor for Chelsea for a long time. Granted, that might have something to do with injury, confidence, you know, coming in and out of the team, but ultimately, very poor. Like, by far the 5th worst centre-half at Chelsea, when we've got 5. So he's at the bottom. I'm not going to say Rudiger's done out here because I'm not like so unforgiving, but it really frustrates me when pundits say, oh, he's brilliant, why, you know, Chelsea conceding goals, chuck in Rudiger and everything's going to be fine. When in fact, everything would probably be worse. Anyway, if you're a Chelsea fan, avid Chelsea watcher like me, you'd probably agree with me how Rudiger isn't great. Anyway, in the transfer window, Chelsea and I think Rudiger were doing a lot to try and get him out the door, whether it was a loan or transfer. Obviously he stayed, and he spoke to The Athletic talking about the situation and how he stayed, and he had this to say. Addressing his situation in the summer, Rudiger told The Athletic last week, "The club didn't tell me that it was absolutely necessary for me to find a new club, and that they definitely didn't have me in their plans for the next few months," Rudiger told The Athletic. "I also turned down one or two options myself. I wasn't prepared to pack it all in simply because I've been left out a few games. I enjoy living in London, and I like being at Chelsea. Naturally, I looked into a couple of options in the 2 weeks before the end of the transfer window. There was a possibility of a loan deal in order for me to get more game time. Due to many different reasons and a shortage of time, nothing materialised in the end." Rudiger basically taking an opportunity here to talk to The Athletic and say, "Look man, it's cool. We're all cool. There's not been any major fallout. Chelsea weren't pushing me out the door saying you have to leave. Perhaps they were suggesting he does to get game time because he starts for Germany and he's a top tier player in many's eyes. But they were like, look, this is the situation, you have an opportunity here." I think he's just sort of pouring cold water on this sort of conspiracy of, oh, there's been a big bust up with Lampard. Oh, the club want him out to retain value and sell him immediately, all this kind of stuff. I don't think there's necessarily bad blood, and I think ultimately Rudiger's a good guy, so he's not going to cause any toxicity around the dressing room. He might get his chances throughout the season in, the odd game, and we'll see what happens there. But while Zouma and Thiago Silva are speaking French, they will be first choice centre-halves. But Silva's 36, he's not going to be able to play every game. Who knows? With Christensen looking poor lately, maybe Rudiger comes back in, maybe Tomori gets a sniff. We'll have to see what happens there. Anyway, let's move on. So, it's beautiful, isn't it? Petr Cech in the Premier League squad, listed as Chelsea's, or one of Chelsea's goalkeepers, of which there are 4. People, think about it. Petr Cech is younger, that's right, younger than Willy Caballero, who has played loads of games for Chelsea of late. Cup finals, Premier League games, high profile games. Old man Caballero, who fair play to him, he's done alright. Petr Cech is younger than Caballero, and it's Petr Cech, that guy. Granted, he wasn't amazing at Arsenal, but he can still do a job. Point is, it's just the feels, man. The absolute feel-good factor feels. Imagine Petr Cech starting in goal for Frank Lampard's Chelsea. Oh yeah, Frank Lampard managing Chelsea. It's just, I know this is like a throwback nostalgia thing, but let me have it, man. Why wouldn't you let me have it? It feels so good. The truth is, man, this very much is a precautionary non-contract situation listing. Apparently, Petr Cech's kept really fit. He's been doing some one-to-one training with Kepa and Mendy, trying to really sort out the goalkeeping problem at Chelsea, although Mendy's looked absolutely brilliant. Every time he starts, we keep a clean sheet. So far, touch wood. But yeah, he's been keeping fit, and Frank Lampard spoke about this after the Sevilla match. He's like, yeah, he's been keeping incredibly fit. He's been training with the goalkeepers, which is great for them, and it's good for Petr, who's obviously only so recently played. He could still be playing, and they're pretty much listing him in the Premier League squad is like a precautionary measure thing, like if there's a COVID outbreak and you need to get someone in. I think he'll probably get paid per game. He's not on like any form of additional payment contract. I think if he was drafted in, he'd put the gloves on, or he'd go on the bench if there was a couple of keepers that couldn't, and he'd just be like a backup. And if Frank said if he did have to play, he probably wouldn't ever have to, but if he did, I'd feel comfortable because he's training with the keepers, he is sharp, he's keeping fit this season, and we move. It all looks pretty good and positive to me. And if that's not a feel-good story, then what is? I like it. I like the fact how he's training with Mendy, both French-speaking goalkeepers from Rennes. He'll make him better, hopefully. He'll hopefully raise the confidence of Kepa Arrizabalaga. So if we do call him in, he's a senior figure around the training ground like Willy Caballero is. I mean, they're both similar age, so that'll be cool for them to talk and show the younger guys what to do. And generally, I feel pretty positive about it. It was funny how Twitter reacted, man, because Chelsea didn't speak about it. They just released the squad, the 25-man squad, and they didn't make a statement till afterwards. So everyone looked at it and was like, guys, what's happening? Why is Petr Cech on the goalkeepers? What's happening? There must be a mistake. And everyone just assumed it was a mistake. And then, Matt Law tweets out, it's not a mistake, apparently it's real. And then eventually Chelsea make a statement. Frank Lampard speaks out about it later as well. He talks about how, yes, he explains it's precautionary, it's a non-contract, da-da-da-da-da. And it kind of settles things down and everyone gets less excited. But I still love it anyway, man. Hopefully you do too. Anyway, give me your thoughts and opinions on all the stories I've spoken about today. Kurt Zouma, Antonio Rudiger, and of course, Petr Cech. Get down in the comment section, express yourselves. If you've enjoyed the content, please do drop a like. It helps me out a lot. Consider subscribing if you're new, mate. Other than that, I'm done. I'm out of here. Enjoy the football. I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.